fatherhood has uh, greatly challenged me as a man, just like marriage, but it has helped me to be a better husband. And being a better husband has helped me to be a better father. And what I've come to realize is that motherhood, fatherhood, husband, wife, marriage, these things are so interrelated more than they are sequential. So we're learning how to love. The project here is, how do we become saints? And a saint is one who loves God above all else and who's able to love their neighbor as themselves. These are deeply relational. How do we learn to love? We learn to love in the family. We learn to love literally at the breast of our mother. That nonverbal, pre-verbal encounter between a mother and a child pours into this new person existence, or I should say, consciousness of existence. I know who I am because this other is touching me and speaking to me and looking at me, and I can smell and I can taste, and all these sensations, the senses. The sensual encounter acknowledges and affirms that I am. And there's this beautiful dyad, this beautiful communio between mother and child that begins in the womb for sure, but is expanded at the breast. It's expanded with the mother child. It grows to the father and the child, who sees the relationship between the mother and the father and has their own unique relationship with mother and father. But it's an expanding world of relationships that teaches us about love. Because the first principle in holiness is learning how to love, but love requires an attachment. And to attach means that I accept that I am worthy of love. It's not an intellectual decision, it's in the heart knowing I'm worthy to be loved. And it's closely associated with that is that I know that others are willing and capable of loving me. Two elements of attachment, right? I am worthy of love, and that others are willing and capable to love me and to meet my needs. When both of those exist, then we enter into marriage with this expectation, without impediment, without fear and doubt, that our marriage, with all of its difficulties and challenges, are moving toward a greater good. We're learning how to love. And that our children don't become drains on that love, but our children becomes another dynamism, another way of expanding love, because love not only loves to suffer, love loves to grow. It's constantly becoming. There's no end to it. It's this beautiful becoming. Children become this new and unique way for us to come to know who we are, that knowing that we're worthy to be loved, but we're now pouring into another that we are capable and willing to love them to meet their needs. So we enter into this growing, interconnected web of relationships that is constantly affirming and answering the two fundamental questions. I'm worthy to be loved, and others are capable and willing to love me to meet my needs. So you look at it that way, being able to love and to receive love from a child enhances your ability to love and to be loved by your spouse. And the same in that way. Every act of love makes us more capable of loving another. But we build these attachments because we're healthy and we've been affirmed in those two principles. I remember the first time I held Naomi, my oldest daughter, and she's screaming. And I said, Naomi, Naomi, it's okay. Daddy's here. Daddy's here. And I don't know what I'm saying. I'm crying and I'm talking. And when I start talking, she did one of those and looked at me. And she looked right at me. I don't even know if she could see me or not. It didn't matter. She looked right at me like, I know that voice. And yeah, we're talking to the belly all those months and whatnot. But when she responded like that, something kicked in me. And I wanted to tell the world. I wanted to profess to her and everyone, I will die for you. I will live for you. And I hate to compare, because to compare is to despair, but it took a while to get that with Melanie, my wife, right? Praise God, I'm there. I will live for her, I will die for her, but it took a while. This was within seconds of this little baby looking me in the eye, and it was just this instant sense, you can trust me, is what I felt. You can entrust yourself to me. I will your good. And the rapid reality of that had a tremendous impact in my ability to love Melanie. And this is not just the dad who didn't go through the 17 hours of labor. Melanie and I were crying together, holding Naomi, and we were like, let's do it again. Let's do it again. And we had no idea. We'd have the six girls, and then adopting a little girl and adopting a little boy, these 8 children. And yeah, it's hard. It's unbelievably hard. And it's hard because with each child, it unravels, it makes bare my own sin, my own defects, my own fear that I'm worthy to be loved, the fears I still harbor about others being capable of loving me and willing the good for me. And this is my own childhood that comes through from my own growing up and things that haven't been answered. So in that sense, we have to look at it as a gift, that the pain and the suffering and the welling up of all of these fears and pain is how God heals. It's how love heals and binds. That bone that has been broken in a displaced way has to be rebroken, reset, and healed properly. And I think our children, the more they annoy us, the more they bother us, the more they just get under our skin, is a bigger light bulb that says, oh, there's something that hasn't been worked out. There's a way that I can learn now to see my own weakness and defect and to make sure it doesn't pass to another generation. Is to will the good of the other, is to love like Christ loved and gave my life for him.